Would you like to support Cubs Out Loud? One way is to join us over on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, patrons get early access to our shows, the pre- and post-show, and various other rewards. You can learn more at patreon.com/CubsOutLoud. Thanks to all our patrons for their support in making this podcast. It's Sunday, July 12th, 2026. I'm Jeff.
Who's your bear? That's right. I am your bear.
I'm Damon.
I don't brew the tea, I just serve it.
And that makes me Gary.
Everyone else is thinking it, and I just say it.
Welcome to Cubs Out Loud, the Bear Podcast with Indeterminate Length, episode number 831. Well, this is apparently a thing. Gary, explain what's going on. We got some really old print magazine covers on our overlay here.
Yeah. So at the end of June and start of July, social media announcements started popping up announcing the return of Bear Magazine.
Who knew?
Yes, you heard that right. Bear Magazine, as in Brush Creek Media original production, the one that we all found ourselves with in a certain way and were sold the hyper-masculine archetype. And yes, that magazine. So
personally preferred Grizzly.
Which is totally fair. Bulk mail, American Grizzly. There were several.
There were a lot of magazines that had the bear, bigger guy leaning.
Yes.
No. Never mind.
So
bear leaning.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought we would discuss it. Some of the posts said things like, "Don't miss out. Subscribe now to our newsletter database to be the first to hear about this exciting news." As you know, Bear is coming back in print. We are thrilled to announce that the amazing artist, photographer, creator of the amazing bound leather zine, Stephen Harwick, is joining the magazine as our creative director. He will make sure the magazine is laid out beautifully. Don't miss the first issue. Sign up for the database to be the first to know when the Indiegogo is live. More on that in a moment.
Okay.
And this is genuinely exciting news for our whole community. Bear Magazine, the original magazine for bears, is coming back in print. A new quarterly publication built around new photography, new faces, and a real celebration of the bear body as it exists today. Available by subscription at thebearmag.com and in gay bookstores across the U.S. and around the world. An Indiegogo campaign is coming soon to make it happen. Sign up to the mailing list to be the first to know when it goes live. And if you want to support right now, there is merch available in the Bear Shop.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I only have a couple questions. And the first one is 2026 ready for a hard copy print smut publication?
So
that's pretty much my answer.
Well, for those that didn't hear it, Jeff just kind of made a strange face in response to the question.
I did say, I'm like,
yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Okay, so physical media, and in gamers, in video gamer space, there's a whole shitstorm happening when Sony announced that they were closing down some of their older stores and just stopping having physical media in general, supporting physical media in general next year. I guess next year or something. And everybody's having a hissy fit about that for very
Mhm.
good reasons.
Mhm.
But when it comes to smut, that's a whole nother king and caboodle. Because I really think nowadays physical media is more of a novelty
Mm,
for a vast majority of people. They're not necessarily going to want to have the stuff, like the actual physical hard copy. They just want to see the, like, they would probably prefer more of a digital form
mm.
than they would a physical form. Not saying there aren't people out there who would love it and would support it and do it, but the number of people probably not as much as some people might think or
Right.
hope.
Those are fair points, Damon.
Yeah. Yes and no, I want to say, and I know it's weird. I think kind of to Jeff's point, there's a novelty / nostalgia factor going on. That there's a desire to like have actual like something in your hands to hold and touch that has been lacking, and people have been wanting to have that come back. But I think of that more along the lines of like things you would want to, like, I put it like this: things you would want to have out in the open, things you would want people to actively engage in and see. And that's not saying like there's not some like bear couple that's really open and friendly with their friends and family, and just like, here you go, like here's some like bear smut magazines, like whatever kind of thing. um but this stuff, I don't know. I think
People
given
still have end
the
tables,
yeah, you can definitely, I could see it
it's,
like being a thing. I'm not
or
saying no to the
or like
idea.
a hidden bookshelf or something that
Yeah,
they keep it. It's not necessarily a coffee table book, except in certain circumstances. But
it could be a coffee table book next to the sling. um
right, in circumstances.
yeah.
Because
Like
like when
certain
you're
circumstances.
inviting you're having your family over for Thanksgiving, it's not going to be on the coffee table. But when you're having the orgy,
That
of
door's
course it's
locked.
going to be on the table.
I mean, it depends on who the family is.
True. If it's
Yeah,
your family,
I'm talking
If
like
it's your chosen
blood
family, and
relative
you,
family.
yeah,
well, I was thinking if it was your chosen family and you celebrate Thanksgiving by fisting a different kind of bird,
Oh
yeah, like
yeah, totally. That would totally
that
be.
might be a thing. And Damon is now broken. Anyways,
yeah, but yeah, I guess I think digital has been the norm, but I also am. I think for me, there's something to be said about the word that comes to mind is authenticity. Like, this is ours. Like, given reading when you said like they have someone curating it and they're kind of the magazine, I'm going to assume that they're going to be like kind of like a fashion magazine. They're going to be like getting to photographers or have photographers in hand to take the pictures and then have them get print the articles and pictures and such. So it's kind of their thing. Whereas digital digitally, you can. There's been this big thing of just like basically people copying everything
Mhm.
and are stealing content that doesn't originally belong with them. It's one of my biggest pet peeves with certain sites, certain
yeah.
um, applications where I could be not watching, scrolling through it and get like random porn video, but it's not by the original creator, or random um, amateur kind of video, but the person who is sharing it is not the person who's not in the content. This person is not in this content whatsoever. Yeah.
No, that's fair. I mean, and you kind of hit the nail on the head because my other main question was like, do we think this is a nostalgia grab?
Mhm.
Like, has someone run the numbers and looked at it in terms of marketing and be like, do you know what we need? We need old bearded faggot money. That's what we need. We need to take all the cubs and bears that are around today and feed them member berries by putting out a print publication.
Yeah, but you're not going to see the classics from the original Bear magazine in there. It's
No,
going to be
that's
all new.
I mean, they did
Although,
say a couple of key points, like quarterly new photography, to Jeff's point, new faces.
mhm.
And it says a real celebration of the bear body as it exists today. And I'm kind of like, so does that mean we're actually not going to be sizist anymore?
Wait,
Are we not going to be phobic anymore? Are we not going to be racist anymore?
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean by bear?
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
What is your
that's sort of
interpretation?
that's going to be the bigger question. And I think that's sort of the thing that I'm having, like my brain is hesitating on like putting honestly anything behind this. I'm just going to put it out there. Like, cool. I'm glad that Bear Magazine is planning to come back. But I know when I used to look, and not that often, at Bear Magazine, didn't see a lot of bears that look like me. And that's not just this. That's also like Belly and
Don't get me wrong, Mr. Jack Radcliffe, who is in 2 of these covers.
Right.
He is a muscle bear, so he is a species of bear. How many species of bear are you going to be providing in this magazine?
Right. And that's kind of the thing I want to know. Like, I want you're saying, not new bodies. Gosh, where did the word come from? Boop 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 boop. Looking celebration of the bear body as it exists today. As it exists today. Those are the key words for me. They're going to make the biggest difference for me.
Are you going to include trans bears?
Yeah. Are you going to include trans bears? Are you going to include bears of color? Are you going to include larger framed bodies of bears? Are you going to include a spectrum? I'm okay with like a muscle bear, what have you. I would be okay with that. I would be okay with someone who is marsupial and maybe doesn't have as much hair, but is maybe in the magazine as part of a spread of some kind. But if this is going to become another like narrow, pun intended, section of the community, I'm good. I don't need that.
I mean, and I think that's absolutely the question that obviously we, here for the podcast have to try to figure out. Because it really kind of makes you wonder, when we left off, it had been a print production for many, many, many years, and then changed hands a couple of times. And so to help explain for those that are only listening, like in the video portion, the reason I chose the 2 images of Jack Radcliffe is because the one that's over on the far right when you're looking at it is from the original Bear publication, like the original logo, and probably him at some would say it as prime. And then on the other side is the newer logo and a return, like they used him specifically, understandably, as a cover model because he had a significant impact. It was kind of considered like one of the prototypes. And it is interesting because if you were saying like, he'd be considered a muscle bear. And for a moment I was like, or an otter. Well, I mean, in the original picture, like he didn't have as much muscle mass to him. So, the interesting thing to me is, yes, absolutely. Like where do things stand? What will that look like? How is it going to, play itself out? And also kind of, to Damon, I think your point about, people using things and, the media landscape was sharing stuff and posting things.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you wonder, like, what will this be? I mean, the thing I'm thinking about right now is, let me see, because I'm totally blanking and that's really bad. I would be interested if they're going to possibly like work with, I think it's Brandon from Stocky Dudes,
Mm-hmm.
who has been for years doing adult media production and, in my opinion, has shown a breadth of body types in the people that are, in those films, from, age and body size. And so that's kind of something that makes me wonder. Plus, there is a part of me that's like, how much smut we talking about here? Because, like, we already have Bear World Magazine as a publication, which talks about arts and travel and theater and food, and this kind of stuff. So, and who's the DJ and who's the title winner from what country, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
feel like that's the very Life magazine version, if you will, of the community. So I'm like, how much are we leaning into the nakedness thing?
Yeah.
Mm.
So you're trying to be like, how much of Playboy is this? Is this going to be
Well,
a bear version of Playboy?
actually, the
Where
question
some
is
people
for
get it
me,
for the articles.
right? Is it Playboy? Is it Hustler? Is it Cherry? So for you youngins out there that don't know anything of what I just said, those are three different, like, quote unquote
Wow.
straight porn magazines back in the day. My father collected Playboy, and the running joke was everyone, got Playboy to read the articles. But to be fair, there were really well written journalistic pieces in Playboy. They also had cartoons, they had photo spreads. Like it was a bit of a, mix of things. Hustler, not so much articles. But they did have the pen pal letter write in, kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
telling, naughty stories about what happened to them. And then Cherry was just straight up, porn. So that's kind of where I'm wondering a little bit, is like, what is this going to be? And how does that fit into the landscape of now? Because literally right now, while we're all on this podcast, we can instantly access, thank you to the internet, the things that we want. So what will the publication give us? Will it be more Art Nouveau, like kind of stills photography stuff? I'm not sure. Like, will we get expose things about what it takes to make adult content in the modern landscape and the changes of that? Because there really aren't really that many, film production houses anymore. I don't know. I do think like the quarterly thing makes a hell of a lot of sense. Like, why in the world would you jump back in and bring back something monthly?
Especially
So
for print media.
right, and then also, will there be a digital version? Like, could you have an e-subscription where you can get it online but not as a hard copy, but you still
Mm-hmm.
pay for it because it
The
takes
PDF, for
money to make shit
example.
happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like I understand the idea and desire to be print, and I can respect that. But it's essentially, if it's going to be quarterly, that's going to be 4 magazines a year, and I would be wondering how much it's going to cost. Like, because again, I get what you're doing, and then if there's a digital aspect to it, I would love to know if we're doing a campaign, which I think they are. Like, is that going to be a part of it? Like, can I just get like the digital? Because depending on what they're doing and how, like, I get, like, depending on how often and how long you're on the subscription, how long the magazine prints and all that stuff, you're going to get potentially a lot of magazines. And, you know, space is a thing in this economy. I'm going to put it up there.
Yeah, and so speaking of the Indiegogo thing, they have not posted the campaign. I just did a search for Bear Magazine, came up with nothing. So yeah, you're just kind of, although if you just only type in the word bear, you get 693 projects, just so you know. But not specifically the magazine. So yeah, like I'm intrigued. And before anybody starts getting all excited, the 693 are mostly about not bears as in fat hairy gay men. So anyways. Oh, and this is apparently all the campaigns that have ever existed, not current ones. Got it. Anyways. So yeah, I think, I don't know. There is a part of me that's like, I remember when I was a young adult and I discovered Bear Magazine, and it was old enough I could go to the adult bookstore and go buy the latest copy because I lived at home, so I couldn't get the subscription to have it mailed because I didn't want my mother to be like, what is this thing coming in this package? Not that she probably would have necessarily cared, but I cared, because I was a young independent adult and didn't want my mother knowing that I was, having porn delivered to the house. So instead I just went and bought it and then secretly brought it in the house. Sorry, I'm just so amused now.
Nothing, just a brown bag.
And that was just it, right? Back then, you got a nondescript brown flat bag. Didn't look like a grocery store bag. It was, a very specific kind. Yeah.
Because of comics, I have a bunch of brown bags because I have comics.
Yeah, I kind of wondered. I was like, what? I was like, what is that about? Anyways.
This is my Dollywood. You can't read it. There you go. This is from Dollywood.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Random aside has something to do with this. But yeah, I could, again, I agree with the nostalgia feel about this, and that's kind of where my head is going more towards, is they're looking for those. I can't remember when Bear Magazine stopped production, but they're probably looking for people who remember the magazine fondly and are bringing it back, and then like, oh, I would really love to have that now or have it again, because there's been similar things like this in the past, in recent past.
So
yeah.
I'm going to put the link in just a second because there's a Wikipedia page. Thank you very much. Started in 87, and then first copy was 45 Xerox copies, and then sorting through, in 1994, Brush Creek Media moved its office, and in 94, Bear Dog Hoffman purchased Brush Creek Media and began expanding the company into several special interest gay magazines and video series. So they expanded the whole project. And then in 2002, Brush Creek Media closed its doors. Apparently the IRS seized its inventory. And the magazine ceased at issue number 64. And then 4 years later, the trademark was judiciously assigned and registered to Butch Media Limited of Las Vegas. In 2007, the court assigned Bear Magazine and all Brush Creek Media copyrights to Butch Media Limited. And then it started again with issue number 65 in 2008. Under new direction, it was publisher and editor-in-chief Stephen Wolf and photographer Teddy Mark. The format was updated to in 2010 to better reflect the bear movement and LGBTQ community. And then it said it ceased production once again following a buyout from Bear Omnimedia LLC.
Mm.
So, yeah. Not really sure what the whole...
So now it's owned by Beard and Bear Beard and Bear LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Which,
Filed on June 25th, 2026.
yeah, and that is... I'm totally blanking right now. Jones. Why can't I think of his name?
Richard Jones?
Yes. That has Bear World magazine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it the same? Maybe is it the same person?
I believe so. Because it was filed in Queens, New York.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure I saw him promoted somewhere. I don't quite remember where. Yeah. So he's Richard Jones is listed as the registered agent from just a couple weeks ago, which is where I think that's why I kind of like saw some stuff posted online. And I think I've talked about it before. I've collected the original print publication, just kind of as a personal collection thing. And then follow a person who was kind of doing an archive project on Blue Sky that specifically was working to have them the issues that they already had or that they could get to borrow from folks to have them all digitized. All of the original 60-some issues, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's pretty neat. They had reached out to me because I think I had made a comment to them. Oh,
We have a frozen Damon at the moment.
we do. Perhaps he'll be joining us momentarily.
Do we need to go into testicle difficulties?
Maybe.
Sorry, I don't have any background music, folks, but do. But for those of you watching the video, you can at least skip over this part. You can see where it is.
Look at that graphic.
Isn't that a neat graphic?
It's like we customized it. Did you ever collect or buy any magazines, Jeff?
Not really. I think I might have had a few magazines, but not like smut magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I had a couple of issues of Nintendo Power or something.
Yeah, my dad, because he had collected Playboy, like to me, the idea of having adult print media was not anything foreign at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I naturally, kind of gravitated to liking the idea of having it. And when I discovered Bear Magazine, I was like, what? Like, it was kind of quite the awakening.
It can work? Okay, thank God. There we go.
There he is.
What
Welcome
the
back.
fuck just happened? Hi everybody. I don't know if I'm on the screen yet, but
You're on screen.
I
We
was
can see you at
literally.
least.
I don't know if it was a Discord. I'm assuming it was a Discord thing because
Yeah. It's all right. That's fine. We're recording your show right now.
Okay.
You're good. You're good on our end. So, Bear Magazine. How many different types of magazines was it called? Grizzly, or was it was American Grizzly, which was the alternate version of American Bear, which was a separate magazine, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Gonna find out.
Um,
That didn't help.
that sounds correct.
American Grizzly is a quarterly men's lifestyle and erotica publication catering specifically to LGBTQ bear. Thank you, AI. It was also connected to Brush Creek Media.
Okay, so that must be in one of the expansion teams.
Yes. So, yeah, Bear goes back to what, 87.
Mm-hmm.
I have a spreadsheet. Of course I have a spreadsheet. Well, of the different, like, because that was the main thing that I was collecting. But then in collecting them, I ended up getting other, like, publications. Because sometimes, like, someone would just want to offload all of their magazines. And
Mm-hmm.
so you ended up with other stuff. So there's Bear, there was American Grizzly, American Bear, Bear Party, which was in 07, 08, 09, and 2010. There was Bulk Mail, which started in 92 and ran at least till at least 2003.
And the
And then
bulk
there
mail
was
site still exists,
mhm,
although it hasn't been updated in years.
yeah. And then there was 100% Beef,
That's what I remember too.
which came out in 2002 and ran till maybe 2010 question mark. All the issues or copies I have are from 2002 into 2006, and then I've got like one from 07 and one from 08. But yeah, so there's been a bunch of different things, and this is only in America. There are print
Mhm.
publications that came from abroad. Like I have a copy of one I think that's called Trucker, which I think was from a German print house company, but it's in
Hmm.
English. But I also think they only made one issue. like I think it was sort of an experiment, or they tried it and it just didn't take off. I don't.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Interesting.
there's been a bunch of different stuff.
I don't have any. Actually, the name Bear Party, because is it the smaller one? Is Bear Party like the smaller one? I can't remember. I remember there being one that
Maybe.
was like a small, like I remember because it was like maybe, no, I don't want to say PG-13, but it never quite went the full like smut route. It was very much a erotica esque. I think more photography, like sensual, not necessarily sexual. Great pictures, but never like any nudity.
Hmm.
Always maybe sometimes just close enough, or it'd be cropped in just in such a way where you're like maybe getting like the side of a pelvis, but never like full on like teen. You're getting um
It was soft erotica.
yeah, yeah. Um one moment. But yeah. And I liked that. I was cool with it because I remember the thing I remember most was it was always in like um uh the Bear Run. Like it was like tucked away. It was never like you never paid for it. It was always sort of like given at a bear event.
Oh, and there was apparently a publication called Daddy Bear. Because someone shared pictures from a photo shoot of Tim and Ali. They were babies. And it's definitely like vintage black and white scan stuff. I didn't even know what that publication was. Daddy Bear Volume 2, Number 4. Interesting.
Interesting. There's someone on Blue Sky. Isn't there like doing like preservation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hang on, because I'm on someone else's thing at the moment.
There we go. I found them.
Yeah. The Bear Magazine Preservation Project. Yeah, he linked to another profile on there, Mean Steve, who interestingly has a series of T-shirts that you can get. He did a limited edition of the Bear magazine and the bulk mail logos and stuff. There is a cool shirt that he has on there that I'm really intrigued with, which is the old gay bar ads.
Oh,
So it's like all these little business card type ads from like the back section of the magazine. So it's listing the Jackhammer, the Backstreet, the Ramrod, the Eagle, in Atlanta, the Ranch, Chain Drive, Headquarters, Stud, the Trestle, Gauntlet 2, the Brick, Ripcord, Manhole. Like, yeah, it's like such a vintage
nice
throwback to that stuff. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't think I had any others than that. At home.
Yeah, I was asking Jeff when you were away for a moment.
I heard it on the feed. I heard it on the feed. Had the live going, so
what's your answer?
Huh?
Were you collecting anything?
No. Well, okay. So I talked about those like those smaller Bear Party magazines. I remember collecting them in a sense that I kept them, but I didn't. If you all remember, I was more of the like Bear Films videos, like the DVDs. That's what I like. I would say I collected. I know I still have them upstairs somewhere. I have a bunch of them upstairs. I don't keep them down here. Or do I have any? I may have some. Hold on, because I did a clearing of stuff the other day. Yeah, there's one. Yeah, I have. Well, careful. Nope, you're very raw. Yeah, I know. Oh, you are. Let me check the front. Okay, you're gonna be okay. So there's Bear Ruckus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, actually, I could even turn this all the way around because who shit. Okay.
Oh, you froze again.
And immediately went away.
Isn't he supposed to have the better internet?
Possibly.
Well, he has fiber.
There's another print publication I never heard of from the. You'll want to put the difficulties thing on. Never mind. You already did. There's a different print publication called The Big Ad. I've never seen or heard of this.
Oh, it sounds so familiar.
Full-framed men and their admirers. The cover they're showing is February, March of '93. Meet your big man today. Hundreds of personals. The lube job. Another hot story from our friend Jerry. Uncle Harry's Barbershop. And it says Richie's first experience. And Big Guy Centerfolds. Sorry, I'm abused by Damon's message. Interesting. There was like a leather kink one called Chiron Rising. Quite the tour down memory lane, so to speak. Yeah, in fact, I have an issue. I have to go. Oh, I don't have it with me right at the moment. That I got a couple months ago off of eBay from my collection. So this reminds me of when my dad, like, he stopped collecting Playboys. He made a point of like collecting, I think, up to the 50th anniversary, like the 50th year, I think. And then he was like, you have to draw the line somewhere. He's like, I'm just not going to keep collecting it forever. And he also knew that he wanted to like sell the collection at a certain point. So he thought that was a good, like, I have this many. This is the end, so to speak. So it makes me wonder how interested I am in the new thing. If it
Do
would
you
get
know how many issues of the original Bear magazine there were?
64,
It
65.
must be the 60s.
Yeah.
How often did it originally come out? Was that also quarterly, or were they doing monthly?
I think they always did quarterly. But then they did have a period like so I'm looking and it's like in 96 there was 6 issues. So it was like January, April, June, August, October, December. Like it doesn't quite fully make sense in a way. In 98 it was February, April, July, August, October, December. So it's like they were kind of doing every other month ish or every 3 months. I don't know. It's hard to say. And then, of course, in between they had classic collector editions. They had calendars. Yeah, they did a bunch of different stuff. There was a one-off they did back in March of 2001 called Bear Extra, which is erotica focused, which I know probably sounds strange. Given what we're discussing.
I mean, it's still along the same lines.
Yeah. So Damon's doing a full reboot.
Yeah.
From scratch.
I'm just looking at the Wikipedia of just general LGBTQ prints. I have to scroll down to get the United States. There it is. Trying to see if I recognize any of these. I mean, of course, I recognize a couple of them, but
Right.
Any of these? Oh. No, this is a bad article for what I'm looking for. Oh, there was a Bear's Life magazine.
Yes.
That was lifestyle.
That was the predecessor to Bear World magazine that we have now.
Oh,
I remember when that one came out, because when A Bear's Life came out, I was doing Drenched Fur, and the person who was doing A Bear's Life had a bear run for about 3 or 4 years, I want to say, that they did in New York. Not in the city, but in the state.
Oh, list of gay pornographic magazines. That's the one, the article I want.
Okay.
Now,
Still not finding what you're looking
this
for?
is about live magazines. But Samson is still around in Japan, apparently, I think.
Wow. Do you remember Blue Boy?
I do not remember Blue Boy.
It was from 74 till 2007. It was considered a lifestyle entertainment news, in addition to nude and semi-nude. Detroit Free Press described it as a full-color slick gay version of the Playboy magazine. Interesting. Cyndi Lauper mentions this publication in the first lines of her song She Bop. Well, I see him every night in tight blue jeans in the pages of a Blue Boy magazine. Huh. Very interesting.
She is a gay icon.
Yes, for sure. And then Instinct magazine. That was primarily lifestyle and entertainment. That ran from 97 to 2015. David may not be returning.
Well, crap. But we said a lot about Bear Magazine. I don't have any quick way of doing a twosome. You think we've reached the end of the episode by this point, then?
Yeah.
And non-technical difficulties, and everybody will see like two parts of you. Your heads in Damon's box, everything below your eyes, in the other box. But we can wrap up, right? Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us know your favorite gay magazine, smut magazine, erotic magazines.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any, if you don't know what these things are, ask an older gay. You can find plenty of ways to contact us to let us know what you think over at our website, cubsoutloud.com. Shoot us an email, cubsoutloud@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail at 361-COL Talk. That's 361-265-8255. Follow us on Blue Sky, Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube at Cubs Out Loud in the appropriate place in the URL. Join our Entourage chat on Telegram at bit.ly/telegram-COL. You can find out when we're planning or recording these shows at bit.ly/calendar-COL. You can subscribe to that through your Google Calendar. You can also check out our merch store over at Zazzle, zazzle.com/cubsoutloud. Some of those designs were designed by Smash. You can find more of his work at tpublic.com/user/SmashYouTheBear. You can also become a patron at patreon.com/cubsoutloud or send us a donation at paypal.me/cubsoutloud. Find me on Apple Podcast, or find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, and Spotify. You can find me anywhere on the internet as Box Cub. You can find Damon as Theater Cub 79 on various sites, as well as Pop Under 79. If you want the Safe for Work stuff on Blue Sky, you can find that at DMA Gamer 79. Gary?
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as Gaber73.
And with that, say goodnight, Gary.
Have a good one, y'all.